Hello. I am following up on my little mini series about Italy, and this one it's a list review. And I've talked about this player before. This is a list from Owen Bolding. He actually had made an army list for the English nationals at Britcon using Italians, and he sent it to me um, because I was talking about going over Italy competitively. So let's see if Owen agrees with me on what you can do with Italians. I will share my screen and we can go and talk about his list. Here we go. This is an Italian reinforced platoon, 14 order dice, 1000 points. Pretty nicely on point there. And I like the order dice range as well. 14 order dice is good for a 1000-point game. He's bringing a second lieutenant regular. You have to do this. I wish you could get easier access in the access powers to cheaper, inexperienced lieutenants, basically. And then, oh, here they go. Late war Paradutiti. So we have one very large, no, it's not. It's a 6-man unit with double Panzerfaust. They are stubborn. And then we have a 5-man unit, most of them with rifles, 1 assault rifle, and double Panzerfaust. Why this difference, Owen? I'm not sure. For me, I think I would run them all using some machine guns, but you can run this. I think one unit would be pushing up, and the second unit would be in support. But if you're running it in support, then you don't need double Panzerfausts. Most of the time, you'll only need one because you're just scaring away enemy armor. Double Panzerfaust for me is for when you're in a transport and you go hunting enemy armor. An anti-tank gun. I've talked about this before. The Italians are lacking in anti-tank options. Owen tries to solve this using the 37/45 anti-tank gun. I do not like stationary anti-tank guns at all, but it is pretty cheap. 50 points is not bad, so you can do this as a possible solution. Then we have an Autoblinder 40, AB40, which is again an over machine gunned tank-ish armored car. It's a 7+ recce vehicle. It's closed top, and it has a lot of machine guns. It's actually the most machine gun heavy armored car that I know of. It has 4 machine guns, so that's a lot. That's really a lot, and it's pretty affordable. The downside here is that it is 7+. But I think actually that the Autoblinder was maybe one that I overlooked in my review of the Italian army. The Autoblinder is pretty good for the price. It is a lot of machine guns that it brings. And then the M15/42, I expected this one. Again, you see here, we have a lot of machine gun. We have 20 machine gun shots, just the same as the Autoblinder, and a turret-mounted light anti-tank gun. Again, the light anti-tank guns are maybe the best you can do with Italians. And a truck, 12-man capacity, so you can stick all the paras in it. That was it for the first platoon. The second platoon, we have the inexperienced lieutenant. I think you should have gone with inexperienced lieutenant for both of these platoons, but maybe there was a rule that you had to have one better than the other. And then inexperienced infantry, green shirkers, just there for the order dice. A light howitzer. This I like. I think light howitzers are more useful than anti-tank guns. So for me, I would have changed up the other anti-tank gun to a light howitzer. And then another Autoblinder and another M15 and one more truck. So basically all of your stuff can go in those trucks. You can transport everything, which is a nice thought. The only thing that gets stuck is the anti-tank gun and the howitzer. Yes. So see, Owen here is trying to make up for his crappy rules by only picking the best of the best units. He has the late war paras, I've talked about those. He has an auto blender, which I should have talked about, the M15, and he has the inexperienced infantry sections. All of them were standout units for me. All of them were standout units. So he picks the best of the best. I think you have to do this. If you're going to run Italians, you're going to have to be very, very, very clever about your choices. And you cannot afford to lose units. So your shirkers and your lieutenants are going to have to hide most of the time until you get ahead on dice. Because otherwise, if you go down, you're going to go down quickly because the dice are simply going to run over you. So I think this is a really clever, really well thought out version of an Italian list. This is the best I could come up with. Owen, could you please write in the comments how well you did with this list? I can't remember how it turned out, but well thought out, and I salute you, sir, for trying to run an Italian list at a competitive event, because it's not easy, and you're doing exactly what you need to do if you want to do this. Right, that was it. Cheers.